Hey there everyone, it's me again with some TDM on Quarry. For any of you guys who've just come from Machinima, you'll have probably seen a video similar to this. It's basically a whole game where I play in a kind of a stealthy kind of attitude to the whole game. Except that game I was using an M1014, and this game I am actually using a silenced weapon. It's funny, that was one of the #1 criticisms that I got, which was, wait, how can it be stealthy if you're not using a silenced weapon? It's like, no, you don't need to. I mean, it helps, but you know, not necessarily have to. Yeah, anyway, the point is, using the ultimate tryhard weapon, the UMP45, I know a lot of people like to argue that it is way too good. I'm not sure how I stand on that at the moment, because the one thing it doesn't have that the other SMGs does is a high rate of fire, which is useful in some situations. But I'm using it with the silencer and whatever camo I have, I don't really know. My secondary is the Stinger, but I kind of got rid of that pretty quick. Guess I shouldn't have really had it in the first place. Swapped it out for a TAR-21 because I often find that with the UMP, which, you know, even with the UMP, which is very good ammo conservation, because of the slow rate of fire, the bullets will last you a long time, as fucking Grizz fails to no-scope me here. Even though the ammo lasts you a long time, I do find that I run out if I'm going for a, you know, like a long game without dying too much, like this. I try and go for flawless games on Quarry and Derail. This kit is, you know, made specifically for those two levels, so I don't really get on too well with those levels normally, but with this, I found it to be really fun, honestly. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, a little bit about, you know, fun and stuff. A lot of people seem to, you know, misinterpret the intentions of YouTube commentators and stuff, especially on Machinima, but yeah, they tend to think like, oh my god, you have no skill, what are you doing? It's like, no, you missed the point here. I'm not going for skill. If I wanted to show skill, I don't know, show me doing some maths questions or something. Just upload a video of me writing down, like, fucking quadratic equations or something, but I'm not out to show any skill or anything. Watch as I kill the sniper so I can get the rest of them here. Yeah, guys, I'm not out to show any skill or anything, I just like games and I happen to like talking about them, and if you guys like it, that is good, that's fine, I love you for it. But if you don't, that's also fine. You don't have to watch this or be here or anything. But yeah, I enjoy reading comments and positive feedback and stuff, which is always good to see. But the way I tend to play is not necessarily to make myself seem a good player, if you know what I mean. Let's be honest, if I wanted some kind of ridiculous high KDR and, you know, big fame or something and ridiculous scores, I would do this. Every single game I would use the same setup and get completely used to it. I would use, well, let's say a Scar H with Silencer, something along the lines of Stop and Power, Ninja and Scavenger, which, if I use the same thing over and over again, I'd get comfortable with it, and obviously if you get comfortable you get better eventually, but you guys all know that I like to mess around with different setups, and for that reason my KD is probably not as high as most. It's actually around 2.5, most people have been asking, and you know, some people think that's good, some people don't think it's good. I don't really mind, I just play, you know. I think it's just a number, it doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, if I was I'd use let's say Predator, Harrier, Pavlo every single game. You would rack up a lot of kills. It's a very simple strategy for getting a lot of kills, and it works. That's the thing. It genuinely works. But I don't really want to do that, so I'm not really interested. But yeah, this game is all about staying alive for the main part. You notice I'm running away from my team. You notice I'm keeping my distance from them, and always looking for ways to flank around the other team. So although we don't have UAV, which makes it harder, that's what she said. I'm tending to, you know, predict where they are, even if I don't actually know. Find alternative ways around. If I give myself away with this, you know, TAR-21 or this Spaz-12 I just picked up, I mean, that's a problem. You've got to move them, which is why I tend to pick a silencer. But in terms of perk setup, I tend to roll with Marathon, Cold-Blooded, and Ninja, which is just great for getting around the map without being seen. Throwing Knife is my general choice of equipment, but often I screw up with that, so maybe not the best choice for me, but yeah, whatever works best for you. Guys, my background has recently been changed, actually about 5 minutes ago as I'm recording this commentary. New background is made by a guy called EMR. I don't know if you guys know him or not. He also does gameplay and commentary, and he's the owner of the popular AIDS series from Modern Warfare 2. And I'll leave his link in the description if you want to go thank him for the amazing background and check out his videos and stuff. And although I really like the old background, which I had for ages and ages, and I like, you know, to the guy who made it, I like it, but it's just the fact that I had it there for so long, and it's always nice to have a change once in a while, you know? Moving on to the gameplay bit here. So the reason I chose the UMP was because UMP is because I can make the ammo last a long time because of the slow rate of fire, the relative high power. It's always good to have, but I think any SMG or assault rifle would work pretty well with this. If you are finding that you run out of ammo, possibly choose Scavenger or one-man army to replace the ammo instead of Marathon, but I just really like Marathon on this. And for the guys who haven't seen the video on Quarry that went up to Machinima, I'll post a link at the end in an annotation. But uses for this kind of setup, I do go through a lot more in terms of tips on the actual video and Machinima video, which I'll put at the end, but it's mainly about staying hidden and flanking around the other team the whole time, staying away from your team. This perk combination really helps. This particular kit here, I like to keep something similar in reserve at all times, particularly for Derail and Quarry when they come up, because they're, you know, nice wide open maps that you can play like this. Because it's fun, it's just a new style of playing where you're thinking a lot more instead of just, you know, rushing and shooting and reactions and stuff. You're kind of planning ahead and thinking about what you're going to do, and it truly is a really fun way to play, so if you haven't tried it already, I suggest you do. You'll be surprised how fun it is. But yeah, I tend to keep a kit like this at all times for Quarry and Derail. And also for when I know I'm on the losing team in a game of domination or deathmatch. Because obviously they're going to get loads of air support up, and you're going to probably get spawn trapped somewhere. And something like this really helps. Because I often find that when I'm trapped in a spawn trap, let's say the high-rise spawn, either at A or C, you're trapped, and there's not really any way to get out for you. Not an easy way, anyway. Well, if the other team has like a chopper gunner up or an AC-130, I often find that I'll be stuck at the back, just doing nothing, waiting for them to go away, basically. Not getting any kills, but at the same time, not dying. But often you'll find that your teammates just run out repeatedly. Kind of reminds me of when a small child sees fire for the first time. They see it and they think, "Oh, it's bright and pretty, I want to touch." So they touch the fire, it burns their fingers. "Ow, that hurt, Daddy!" Well, son, that's because it's a fire. You touch the fire, it burns your fingers, it hurts, okay? Okay, Daddy. Ah! What are you doing? Did you touch the fire again? Yes, it hurt! It's just the same thing over and over again. You die, you respawn. Well, I'll probably try that again. But sorry, I'm a little bit of a rant here, but yeah, it's a good way to combat stuff like that when, you know, other people on your team are completely dying a lot. Maybe they haven't had the game for long and they don't really know what's happening or something. But yeah, it's a good way of dealing with stuff like lots of air support in the air. Just hide at the back, hide in some obscure place in the map. It's a good safety net, I guess is the best way to describe it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. The game is about to end. Final score 30-3. Hope you guys learnt something. If you want to see more of this, click the annotation anywhere on the screen here now. It's the Machinima post. It's pretty much the same kind of gameplay. I go more into depth about the tactics and stuff in gameplay. It's a really fun way to play, so give it a go, and thanks.